Hello guys, this is Paul McWhorter from TopTechBoy.com, and we are here today with our new, our improved, our exciting Arduino tutorials, and we are on tutorial number 4. What we're going to do today is we are going to introduce the concept of using variables in our Arduino programming. So I will need you to pour yourself a most excellent mug of iced coffee. I will need you to get out your eLego Super Starter Kit, which if you don't have yet, you can click on the link below in the description. Order your kit. It's $35. We're going to be doing this whole series on this kit, so it will take you a long way into doing a whole lot of projects that we're going to be doing in these tutorials. So order your kit, get your coffee, and then let's just jump right in. Okay. So the concept that we're going to do today is we're going to learn about variables. But to learn about variables, we're going to start by doing a project the old way. So I need you to go back and get your project from lesson number 3, which was to build a blinking LED. And then let's see if I can get this where you can see it. This was my circuit that we built. Let's get the circuit diagram in the picture here. I will back off. You can see I do not have a producer here. I am doing the whole thing. Okay, so this is the circuit that we're trying to build. We were operating on pin 13 to provide the voltage. We're going through a resistor of 330 ohms to the long leg of the LED. The short leg of the LED connects to ground. Okay, so that's what we hooked up here on our breadboard. So I've got the red wire plugged into pin 13. The red wire comes over, hooks to one leg, the first leg of the resistor. And then the second leg of the resistor connects to the long leg of the LED, and then the short leg of the LED comes back to the G&D pin, the ground pin on the Arduino, and the G&D pin is right beside that pin 13. Okay, so what would be a neat little experiment for us to do with this circuit? What I want you to do is I want you to create a little simple Morse code program to blink out on the LED SOS. Okay, if you're not familiar with Morse code, it's a series of dots and dashes that allow you to communicate, a very low bandwidth way to communicate, was used back before modern telecommunication. And so if a ship was sinking, the ship would send out an SOS, and it sort of would stand for Save Our Ship. So you need to know how to make the letter S in Morse code, and you need to learn how to do the letter O in Morse code. So the letter S, if we come over here, is a dot, dot, dot. Okay, so if you were listening to it, it'd go dit, 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 and then dash, dash, dash is an O, and then dit, dit, dit. So it goes dit, 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 da, 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 dit, dit, dit. So this is the letter S, this is the letter O, and then this is the letter S, SOS. So you want 3 quick blinks, blink, 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 and then blink, 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 and then blink, blink, blink. Okay, so we have the circuit set up, so we should just need to do a little programming, and then we should have this LED blink, dit, 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 dit. You could do this on your own, and then you could follow along with me, so you might run ahead, pause the video, and do this on your own, and then come back and you can watch me do it. Okay. Here I go. If I'm going to turn that LED on, there's something I need to do one time, and I need to do that in the void setup. That is pin mode, right? Anytime you use a pin, you got to do a pin mode. So I type pin mode, and then what are the parameters? The parameter is, which pin am I working with? Pin 13. Second parameter is Is it an input or is it an output? It is an output, okay? And then almost every command in Arduino ends with a semicolon. Uh-oh, look, this didn't turn the happy little orange color when I did Pinmode. What did I do wrong? Somebody tell me, what did I do wrong? I heard you. I didn't use capitalization right. The M should be capitalized. Pinmode. 13 is an output. Okay, now in the loop we want to do did. And I'm going to do some copying and pasting to try to make this go faster, but I'm going to do a digital write. What pin? Pin 13. And then I'm going to go high. Okay. End with a semicolon. Now what? Delay, because I want to leave that first dit on, so I'm going to delay. What do you think? 50 milliseconds. Okay. So the light will stay on 50 milliseconds. Okay. And then I want to do a digital write. Pin 13. What do I want to do now? I want to turn it off, so I'll say low. End in a semicolon. And then what? Delay 50. Okay. So this turns it on, wait 50 milliseconds, off, wait 50 milliseconds. So that's the first blink. That's the did, the first did. Well, how many dids do I want? 3. So I'm going to copy and paste. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to leave a blank line in my code just so it's easier to keep organized and paste. Okay, so now I've got did, and then I got did. And then if I look over here, how many dids did I want? How many little dots? I want 3, so I need one more. So I will do Control V again. Okay, now that's the did. Now I need the da. I need the 3 dashes. So the easiest thing would be to just copy all of this because I have the 3 dids, so I'm going to copy all 3 of those little blinks, and I'm going to come down, I'm going to paste them. But these, I don't want did. These need to be longer. So this is the first did, second did, third did. Now this one I want longer. So I'm going to put it 500, 500, and then I'm going to put 500, 500, 500, 500. Okay, so here I've got the did, and then I got the da, almost. I need one more there. Okay, now what do I need? I need 3 more dids. Did, da, did. So I've got the did, da. I need those 3 dots again. So I can just, this time, just cut and paste the first 3 blinks. 1, 2, 3, Control copy, come down here, and then Control paste. And so this should do it, right? That was pretty quick, wasn't it? With my quick copying and pasting. Hopefully you were able to keep up. So let's download this into the program. We got the happy little green bar. That's good. And now let's look at it. This isn't very good because it's running the it's running this all the way into this. And so after we do this one time, we probably need to put a 1-second delay in so these 3 don't run into that. Okay, so we need to put a long delay at the end of like a second. So we're going to come back over here to the code, and we're going to say delay and then 1,000. And that way I think we can see it better. Does that make sense? All right. Learning as we go here. So we will download it. Happy little green bar. Okay. Did. Okay, do you kind of see that? Oh, darn. The problem with that is that the short ones are too short. The short ones are really too short, and it's kind of hard to read. Do you see how it's not really working? So we really, oh darn, the other thing, I really wanted to use pin 8. And then I need the little dot shorter. Okay, what's the problem now that you see? I'm going to have to go in and I'm going to make that pin 8, pin 8, pin 8, pin 8, pin 8, pin 8, pin 8. I'm going to have to change all those to 8 because I told you wrong. I really wanted to do pin 8. Oh, and then this 50 is too short. And so I really need to make that, I really need to make that longer. And so we got to go in and we got to do a whole bunch of changing. And guess what? After you change it, I'm going to change my mind again and I'm going to want to use pin 4. All right. So do you see how hard it is to do things this way where you're just hardwiring in numbers here? And this gets to the concept of variables. When you're writing a program, you never want to use constants like this. You want to set everything up with variables. Where do you set variables up? You set them above the void setup. Before the void setup, we're going to show the variables that we want to use. So you've got to tell it what type of variable it is. You've got to tell it what type of number it is. And really, there's kind of like two, for the sake of Arduino, there's sort of like two different types of numbers that we can think about. One would be our counting numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, our round numbers. We could have -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are integers, right? If you've been in math class, you know that those are integers. And so one type of number we can have is integer, and then you can have another type of number which is for all the in-between numbers. So like if that would be numbers like 3.14, right? That would be a floating number, floating point number, meaning the in-between numbers. Int are the round numbers. Floating point numbers are the in-between numbers. And so use an int anytime you can because it uses less variables. So what would be one thing that we would want to set up at the top and then just use the variable rather than continuing to edit the specific numbers in the code? How about what pin we're connected to? So I need to tell it that I'm going to set up a variable and it's going to be what type of variable, an integer. And so therefore we type in int. Look, it turned the happy little blue color. It recognizes int. So int is telling it I'm going to create an integer. What am I going to call the pin? Well, I'm going to call it my pin. Or how about LED pin, the LED? Or how about red pin? You see, any of these things would be good. Red LED. I think I'm going to call it red LED. It doesn't matter what you call it, but just always call it the same thing. And then I'm going to give it a value. It is going to be equal to, right? I didn't want pin 13. I want to set it to 8. And then we end with a semicolon. If we were going to do pi, like pi 3.14, we're not going to do it in this program, but I'll just do it as an example. 3.14, would that be an int? No, no, no. It would not be an int. It would be a float. And pi would be equal to 3.14. We can leave it in there even though we're not using it, just to kind of show you the difference between an int and a float. What else? Oh my goodness. All these numbers, we might want to change it 3 or 4 times to get it working right? Okay, so what we want is we want that short number. That's going to be an int because it's just going to be the number of milliseconds. And I'm going to call it dit, and that's the short number. What should that be? Well, instead of 50, let's make it 100. Okay. And then I need the int for the da, which is the longer number, and we're going to make that 500. Okay, so you see I've set up 3 variables that I'm going to use. Instead of going down and saying 8888888 for the pin number, I am just going to call it red LED. And anywhere I put in red LED, Arduino will put in the number 8. Then the advantage is if you want to change the pin later, you just change it one time up here. So let's go in and put our red LED in, and instead of typing it over and over, I'm just going to copy it, and then let's look at where we need to put it. Everywhere there was a pin number 13, instead of 13, I'm going to put red LED. What is it going to put in for red LED? It's going to put in the number 8. And same thing here. Same thing here, here, here. So yeah, it's a lot of work. Wouldn't it have been easier if I would have used variables to begin with? I think it would have been. Okay. And then here we have some more. Hopefully you're following along with me. Okay, so now I've replaced the parameter of the pin number. Instead of a number, I'm using the variable red LED, and now I can set it to anything I want. Okay, I can set it to anything I want. Now, instead of using the 50, we want that to be the variable dit. So everywhere there's a 50, I'm going to put, I'll copy that again because it's faster. So I am going to put dit, 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 dit. Do I want to put dit here? No, that's going to be a DA, so I'll fix that in a minute. And then I come back to my dit, 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 dit. Okay, so I've got 2 more, dit and dit. Okay, now what do I want to do? I want to do my DA at 500, so I copy DA. And I come down here, and where I have 500, I put DA, 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 and then dit, dit, dit. I think that's it. You see, the thing is, really you want to get in the habit, always use a variable. Don't use numbers down here. Always use a variable. So also this, between the dit, 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 we want that 1 second delay. And so we will kind of like, maybe we'll call that int, and we'll call it long W for long wait, and that's equal to 1000. All right, so I got all my variables up top here. And then I come down here and I put long wait. Long wait. Okay, now everything's really being controlled by these variables up here. All right, now I've said that I want red LED pin to be pin 8, so I've got to come back over to my circuit. And instead of having this wire in pin 13, let's see if I can make that bigger for you to see better. Okay, so instead of having this red wire in pin 13, I'm going to put it in pin 8. All right, now I am coming back over here, and I need to show you where I am, so I need to switch back over here. Okay, now let's download this. Okay. Ooh, our first error. Look at that. It says long W was not declared in this scope. It doesn't know what long W is. My goodness, what did I do wrong? Long W, long W. Okay. Do you see it's telling me an error down here? Long W was not declared in the scope. It doesn't recognize long W. But I declared long W up here. Why doesn't it like it? Somebody tell me. I declared long W up here, but yet when I get down here, it doesn't recognize it. What matters? Capitalization. What did we do? Long W? Long W? Yeah, I made that a capital L instead of a little l. So little long capital W, little long capital W, and now we will download, and we get the happy little green bar. And then look over here, boom! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, do you see that did it da 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 did it? Okay, I still think that the 100 is a little bit too fast. And so let's make this, I think it would be easier if we made this 250 and we made this 700. I want to slow it down so you can see it, and then I'm going to make long 2000. All right, so now let's look at that. Let's download that and watch over here. Okay, boom! Watch this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Did da 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 did da 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 did. So that's pretty good. Now, since you're not a Morse code guy, I slowed it down so you can actually see it. But you could see that if you were a real Morse code guy, you could go a lot faster. So let's go like, let's say we're a real expert. We'll make this 50 and we'll make this 150. And so if you were a real ham radio operator, you could recognize this. And let's see how this looks. Yeah. Did it da 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 did it. Okay, you see that's going a lot faster, and you could see it. But also this got a little long then, so let's say 1000, and then let's download it. Okay, did it da 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 did it da 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 did it da 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 did it. Okay, do you see how now it's like really going fast? Okay, do you see the power of using variables? We can come in here and play with these parameters without having to go in and change all of this. And the longer and the more complicated your programs get, the more important it is to use variables. So from now on, never use a number down in your program. Always set variables up at the top and then use those variables. And then if you need to edit something, you just come to the top of the program and you change the number there. Does this make sense? Is this brilliant? Ah, wait a minute. Did I say pin 8? I really meant pin 4. Oh, I'm sorry. You've got to go rewrite your program. You've got to rewrite the whole program for pin 4. You just come up here. The red LED is now hooked to pin 4. You see it's not working. We will download it. And then, boom. Did it da 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 did it da 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 did it on pin 4, right? So you could also play around with, you know, any of the timing parameters you want. Do you see the power of using variables? Now, we didn't use it, but there is one other type of variable, and that is a string. And so you could come here and say string, and a string would be something like my name is, and then here in quotes, Paul McWhorter. Okay, so I can have an integer, which is an int variable, which is the round numbers, positive and negative. I can have a float, which is the in-between numbers like pi 3.14, or I could have a string, which is a string of letters. And then I could call that variable my name, and my name is equal to quote, Paul McWhorter, end quote. And so when you set a value to a string, you have to put it inside of quotes. Does that make sense? Now, in future lessons, we're going to always do variables. We're never going to put numbers in again. We're always going to use variables. And in future lessons, we'll start playing around more with float and start playing around more with strings. But for now, you sort of see what the power of this is. Okay, so your assignment for this lesson is to now create 3 different LED circuits, a red, a green, and a blue. I want you to blink the red LED 5 times fast. I want you to blink the green LED 10 times slow, and then I want you to blink the blue LED 15 times real slow. Okay, and I want you to do it. Don't put any numbers down in your code. Do it all with variables. So what variables are you going to need? Well, you're going to need a red LED variable for the pin that's connected to, a green LED variable, and then the pin that's connected to, and a blue LED, and then what pin that is connected to. So you'll have three variables. Then you will have three pin modes based on those variables. And then you need kind of like a blue blink. So you'll have that. You'll need a red blink. You'll have that. You'll need a green blink. You'll have that. So all of those numbers you define up top, and then you use the variable names down in your program. Okay, guys. This is Paul McWhorter from TopTechBoy.com. I will talk to you guys later.